here's a video of an amplifier that I am going to put onto eBay, but it may not sell, and I'll say why. Any proceeds from the sale of this amplifier, I mean all the proceeds from it, are going to go into church funds, because this is a PA amplifier out of a church, and the amplifier has been replaced. As far as I can tell, something like Thermal Runaway has taken out the 8 transistors, 4 per channel, the power transistors that give the amplifier its power. I'm not sure whether all are gone or not, but the cost of unsoldering and replacing those with quality units is too great. But what have we got? Well, so what you're going to get is a case and a power supply. So I've done a little bit of testing of it, and certainly the power supply side is working very well. You've got a large toroidal transformer, almost 6 inches in diameter, very heavy. You've got some quite meaty capacitors there. You've got a relay at the power supply end, and a relay on the output. That'll be an anti-thump relay. And a fairly straightforward looking circuit. So you've got your power transistors there, and you've got some op-amp type of things down there. A big meaty rectifier on that one, and then some smaller diodes and smaller capacitors there, presumably for the lower current supply, to supply some of the op-amps. Okay, but basically the thing that you're going to be buying is a rack mount case, 19-inch rack mount case, solid and heavy. I would say built like a tank. It's got a heavy plate on the front. It's got a lid on there, and some professional ready-mounted components. So you've got professional speaker output sockets there. You've got fuses on the speaker output lines already installed. You've got XLR and 1/4-inch jack inputs and a couple of slide switches there. And you've got your mains input and an earth lift switch on it there. Nothing much on the side. The front is very simple. There's no VU meters on it. It says RDL audio on it. I think the firm no longer exists. On-off switch, gain control, potentiometers, and clipping LED, and an LED to show that it's got a bridge on it. And that's about it on the front. There's something to tell you when that the fans are actually running. 2 fans, a fan on the front and a fan on the back, so you get a good solid flow through. So one option, if I needed a power amplifier, would be just to saw off the circuit board and keep the power supply in there, and install in here one of those, say a 200 watt power amp board, and you can buy those from Maplin's for 20 quid. So if you've got 2 of those for £40, maybe it's £29, whatever it is, and a little bit of time, you've got yourself a 200 watt per channel power amplifier in a very nice case. So basically what you're buying is the case, the power supply and the switches already mounted, already in a box, complete with the fans flowing through it. As I say, I just did some basic testing, and as far as I can tell, well, checked that it wasn't any of the fuses that had blown, it wasn't any of the fuses that had blown, and as far as I can tell, everything, the power's getting to things, signal is getting in from the inputs. You've got all the voltages you need on the power supply, and I'm guessing because I've not unsoldered any of the transistors, that we've had some failure on the transistors. And finally then, I'll just look at the transistors again and tell you what they are. BUZ900. Is that 900? Yeah, BUZ900 on one side and BUZ905. So you've got 4 BUZ900 and 4 BUZ905. And what I can tell you is that the commercial price of new transistors to replace them is greater than the cost of a power amplifier module complete using modern devices. However, there will be people out there that might have a box of those whatever configuration they are, transistors lying about, and if you do, then there you go. When you wanted a little job, then you can make use of your spare transistors and get yourself a working power amp. So there we go. Look out for that. It will be on eBay once or twice, and then it's going to just go into the shed, because I'm not confident that anybody's going to buy it. Why would I not just let it go for scrap or throw it in the scrap bin? Well, I never know when I might need the components, or even just the metal plate. It's a nice piece of metal. There's some metal work there, and you never know. There might be a time when I want a high current at the voltage that's coming out of there, and if I'm not concerned about space and I don't need a switch mode power supply, I can just pick up the current, pick up the voltage from there and make use of it. It's not going to bother me lying about, and there are all the spare connectors, but I'm certainly not going to strip this one down as I have done with some of my other bits and pieces. I'm just going to keep it as it is until somebody else says, yes, I want that, and I'll give you a donation for the church, or I find a use for it.